She did not protect these kids from the world and from herself. She was a damaged individual, and she went on to damage her kids. Yep, that's right. Oh man, it's these people again. The Smiths cannot stay out the headlines, seeking the limelight, which they will never fully grasp and have the world eaten out of the palm of their hand again like this. Not after all we know about this fucked-up family. What's up, it's your boy Cintron. Come back into another reaction / analysis video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. And man, yeah, this is just bad. And I don't have an article title here, but I did, watch a video and read a little bit of a couple of other ones, but a couple of articles. Jaden Smith came to the red table and told the fucking world that his mom introduced him to psychedelics. And you're just like, every time you thought they hit a new low point, or just the legacy, the name is just tarnished enough, they find a new way to disrespect it and to sink even lower. The opposite, the antithesis of what Michelle Obama was saying. When they go low, you go higher. No, when the getting is low, you go even lower. Like, it's just a shame. Like, how far is she gonna go to sully this man's name? And I'm mentioning her husband's name, the Smith name, Will Smith. I mean, it's donezo, but really it just seeks to reconfirm what we already knew, that she's a degenerate. She turned her family into degenerates and really did nothing to protect these children from herself and just the error of her own ways. A true modern woman, she just ruined everything and wasn't satisfied with just ruining herself, but also extended that to her bloodline, which is just tragic when you think about it. That these kids are having so many issues, or not kids anymore. These young adults are having so many issues to deal with because of their freaking mother. But it's not surprising though. I mean, after all the things she did that came out to light that we don't even know, that she's writing a memoir to tell us the rest of the story. We don't even need to hear the rest, baby. Just call it a day. It's a wrap. It's enough, the damage that we heard from you. But she failed in one of our duties. I have some topics I want to hit on, or like let's say addendums. What is a mother? A mother is someone who cherishes you, the first woman that you love. So for some, the model, the model that what a future partner could look like, and a person that's supposed to unconditionally love you, take care of you, nourish you, and she violated most of that, if not all of that. Yes, of course, in her way, she wasn't out here just physically abusing them and such some things. People are like, oh well, there's some saving grace there. No, man, she did not protect these kids from the world and from herself. She was a damaged individual, and she went on to damage her kids. And she did this while in the enclave of a marriage with a weak male partner, beta, letting her lead the charge. And it just goes to show you that you really shouldn't be out here letting if you're a beta, get with a woman who you can trust. But by and large, this goes to show you that women shouldn't be out here leading relationships. Because where she lead it? Right off the fucking cliff, man. It's just, yeah. Like I said, she didn't. Like, look at this boy, and now a young man. He looks disheveled. Despite his riches, he's not mentally well off. His health is not in good condition. Despite the myriad of advantages, his name alone, yet not even speak of his other resources, should have given him. But it's like, yeah, like I said before, like she's like almost like a single mother in the way she, single-handedly, destroyed this family, and the reverberating effects gonna be felt for at least this generation, and going on to the next. We'll see if there are even any future Smiths to even speak of. Trey's probably the safest one he got out, and the ex-wife. But yeah, she didn't do her motherly duties. Because she's too primarily focused on self. If she would have done, if the husband Will would have done a good job, he would have vetted her, immediately axed her because she's chaotic. But if she would have been self-accountable, which, you know, a lot of women aren't, she would have never hitched herself to this man in the first place, knowing that she was going to ruin him, you know. But number two, what's exactly wrong with giving your kids psychedelics? It's just not good stewardship. We already see, like, you know, she makes very questionable decisions. When he was going through a tough time in his life, she introduced him not only to this, she was his best friend, which, like, in the end, them up mentally. Or not, maybe not his best friend, but one of his good friends in August Alsina, the month. It's hot next month, man. And he's not even here yet. Or he's not here anymore. But, yeah, it's like, give them the proper, if my kids ever dealing with mental issues, I'm not going to introduce them to something that on the offhand could, you know, cure them or give them assistance in fighting their battles, which she said it did for her, which she made all these decisions on this drug or after it. Just goes to show you, like, if that healed you, then what were you like before? Classy. Like, damn. You know, so, yeah, it just doesn't speak to the, you know, it's just not smart to compound issues. Or in the likelihood, you know, given the likelihood that, you know, it could have compounded issues, why would you do that? And it's in such a critical juncture in you know, your in a young man's life. So she did more to destabilize the bridge than stabilize it, you know. But yeah, it's just, I would take them to therapy. So many options I would exhaust, and, like, it's experimental. Like, I don't know, you know, she wasn't leaning on anybody for this advice but her own, you know. She leaned on her own understanding. Because, I mean, this is why Hollywood is weird, because why would you do that? Purposefully. We got people out here trying to keep their kids off, you know, the crack pipe, off of other things, you know, angel dust below. And you're willingly walking up and introducing, hey, son, welcome to the world of Alice in Wonderland. Just bad stewardship, man. So it just, even if you had their best intentions at heart, you better go to, you know, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth psychiatrist to even think about contemplating this. But we all know she didn't. You know, accountability is not the kind of tea they drink in this family. And the third one, how has she been problematic within the Smith household? You know, she's embarrassed her husband. She's sullied his name, unaccountable, thrown him under the bus, has not followed his leadership in the guidance, just hasn't had his back and support. So, I mean, she is the definition of just masculinity, and being like matriarchs. And we already see that, you know, that's destroyed the Black, you know, community, being a, you know, woman-led community. You know, they allow the emotion-based logic that, you know, people use, and where it's led our young men that are being raised primarily by the single mothers. You know, what, 70% born out of a single mother household. And I'm also a product of that, by way of being born into it. But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. That she used to be a paragon of what we used to look for, you know, to uphold, you know, to lift up, you know, the Black family unit, a shining example. Little did we know that all this other shit was going on behind the scenes. Anyways, let's get to the comments, man. And, you know, want to cover some stuff real quick. But there's never anything positive associated with that woman's name. Nothing at all. I mean, every time she comes up, literally, it's just bad. Here it's drugs. Other time it was a scandal. Another time it's just, you know, she's embarrassing the family unit, the family name. She's gaslighting her husband. Just, yeah, she's backpedaling on Cleopatra. Okay, maybe it is controversial, cool. But then she just refuses to take accountability in her part in the show not being successful. You know, just take the tea and drink it. Nope, too strong. A weak husband paired with an unhinged wife is a recipe for a disastrous home. Yeah. His inability to separate himself from her and tell her no, to hold her in check, when she needs to be checked, because she's running rampant. The opposite. Before people say, "Oh, you're really misogynistic." She's the definition of unhinged. We can see that, and him not wanting to break the family unit. Remember, a wise man once told me, "Don't commit to a mistake just because you made it. Rectify it. You made it, admit it, cop to it, and be done with it." Like, Will should have been divorced himself from the situation, pun intended. But he doesn't have the will, even though he is Smith. I don't think it's good to have Mushroom's reputation tainted by associating with that wicked woman. Damn. It's bad when people are like, violating the dare challenge, but they're saying that they don't want something that is illegal and shouldn't be lifted up in the public sphere. Maybe the private sphere, where it's actually controlled and in a controlled environment and usage regulated and by people that know what they're doing, aficionados. But damn, her reputation is even lower than the drugs. She's getting drugged. And I ain't talking no roofie. The absolute worst environment for children, especially boys, is in a matriarchal household. Yeah, we just talked about this. It feminizes men. Boys, they grew up, seeing that, men get no respect, and that their life is solely just to be used resource-wise, life force, but like their work, their efforts are to be used solely for the matriarch, and then be kind of, just not even, it's not about their happiness, but their purpose, just to be used by women, and then you don't have any really enlightenment out of that. You don't have any fortitude to forge on for yourself, and because through that everything else is born out of. Because this is no major world power is led like this. We're only under the illusion that this could work. Let Russia attack. Let men go to war worldwide, and we'll see where the feminists will fall. It'll be this direction. This makes so much sense. Will manhood keeps getting dogged day by day, literally, and with his wife, and it's all because of his own family. If you need a reason to why you shouldn't get cuffed or itched by your woman, Will's a great example. Yeah, smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes, and definitely, I know for without a shadow of a doubt, I can never be with a masculine woman. Like, her leading the charge, I need to lead things. I need her to be on my program. I need to be in the leadership role, and someone that respects me. Like, I can't have somebody subverting my authority and stuff like that. Nah, we good. I mean, again, at the end of the day, if I'm letting you do that, I really don't give a fuck about you. Or I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's just another caveat that adds to the onion of despair, peeling it back layer by layer and discovering how truly rotten it is at the core. In the real world, the kids are taken away from the unstable mother. Hollywood. But Hollywood. Oh, it's fine, and not even just in Hollywood. Women are not held accountable by society, by and large, for their decisions and their consequences to their being bailed out and rescued. Like, it was a government program. Like, yeah, it's funny. There are literal government programs to bail out, women. And I'm not saying that you don't help people in need, but enabling and helping, there's a line there. In America, in the Western world, are willingly crossing it. And it's why? profit margins. That woman is demonic. Damn. Yeah, man, she is not just a demon for the seed. When she got that, she gobbled it up like Pac-Man and started her own franchise. But now while still being hitched to Pac-Man. Weird. But yeah, I mean, you can just tell deep-seated issues and you know, the craving of attention and at any cost, you know, she'll throw her family's name out there for, you know, a bone and a dollar if it, you know, gets her the attention she craves. And it's just sad. I used to have a lot of respect for her, even before I knew what, you know, what I should be having my standards at as a man, but where I should be having my standards at. But yeah, it's sad that, I mean, like, this was always under the surface and there, and Will's been dealing with this suffering through it for, you know, what, like 20 years now. It's pathetic that he can't cut the umbilical cord. But hey, man, he wants to let this succubus keep sucking him dry. We'll either see a withered corpse or a withered man, which is his decision. But he's down bad, man. He's down bad. Will needs his Independence Day.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like.
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.